Hello everyone, believe it or not, we got ourselves new console mods in Baldur's Gate 3 for both PlayStation 5, Xbox, and Mac players. Now this is super exciting because there's been a bit of a drought. We've went 6 days without any new mods, and there's now 7 new mods. We got 82 mods total on console, which is huge, featuring popular ones like the Witch class and the Blood Mage. So we'll be covering all of this in this video because I'm super excited for more console mods to be released. I know people are fiending for them, but we finally got it here. So yeah, I'm going to get right into things. First off, starting with the Witch class. What's nice about this one is you get 4 unique subclasses, and it's a very cool one. It's somewhat similar to the Wizard class, but it does have a few different choices here. So there's 4 subclasses: the Herbalist, the Frost Witch, the Hex Witch, and the Witch Blade, which I don't know if it is on console just yet. However, there were some issues with this mod, so I just want to touch on that. So whenever you go to select the Witch mod here, so you get to choose your spells. We got things like the Witch Form Cat, allowing you to turn into a cat as a cantrip, and the Arcane Blade, adding a spellcasting modifier to our attack rolls. And then we also get the ability for some different spells here. But the big thing is some people were having issues with being able to select this class. So you can see here, you can't click the confirm button. We do have to assign our ability score points here. So I've had some people say they can't do this. I've had a lot also say they can. So if you're unable to select this class, make sure this is all filled out as well as your skill proficiencies. So we're going to buff up our intelligence there and then put the rest of the points into this. And for our skill proficiencies, you can use whatever you want, but you do have to make sure that those 2 are selected. Otherwise, you won't be able to confirm and select this class. So I just want to cover that just in case you are having issues with the Witch class. I bet I'll be getting a few more comments because we already got a few on this topic, so I just wanted to touch on that. But I'll show off these subclasses here for the Witch, because at level 2 you get to pick your subclasses. We also have Witchcraft points, which allows us to do a few different things here. And great selection of spells. You get a minor Create Water here, lesser Create Water for a cantrip, which is awesome, which makes the Frost Witch one of my favorites. You also get the actual Create Water spell here. And there's a few different witchcraft abilities here that you can do, like extended spell, subtle spell, twin spell, witchcraft cackle, which applies different effects. This may not be on console because there is updates to this mod, as the creator for it, they are in the comments sometimes. So I just want to make a big shout out to Nuto123 for making this mod. Did a great job with it. And yeah, it's a really fun class. There's the 4 subclasses here, the Herbalist being a focus on like buffing up the team and creating alchemical solutions here. The Frost Witch being my favorite, giving resistance to cold damage, and then you also ignore resistances to cold damage, and you get things like Cone of Cold and Wall of Ice, 2 of my favorite spells, so I love the Frost Witch. The Hex Witch is a debuffer, and you have the Warp Fortunes here, so whenever a creature you can see makes attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, you can use your reaction and spend 1 Witchcraft and a little type of Witchcraft to roll 1d4 and apply the number rolled as a bonus or a penalty to the creature's roll. So that's cool. And then we also have the Hex and Bane spells here. Witchblade being another one here. We also have the Witchblade Dodge and the Voltic Edge. So at certain levels, you get to add different spell damage to your weapon. So at level 2, we get the addition of 1 to 6 lightning damage for 5 turns on an attack, which is huge. And you can apply this with your witchcraft points. So there's like lightning for psychic damage you can add to your weapons. And we also have Longstrider there. So I'll just quickly show off this class because this is a really fun one. So we'll just go with the Witchblade here. And you got good selection for spells. So good crowd control. You can turn into a boar. Again, some of these things will be coming out on future patches or future updates to this, as it may not be available just yet on your preferred on console, as I played this at launch for PC and it didn't have all these same selections. So if you don't have the boar spell, it will be coming at a later date as this gets updated. I just want to show off this class because it does get some cool things. You get the Burning Edge now, adding 2 to 12 fire damage for 5 turns. Witch Step, which is a Misty Step, using a Witchcraft point instead of a Sorcery point. Also get Conjure Barrage and Invisibility for spells, and their level 3 spell slots are pretty fun here. So this subclass may also not be available on console, but this is what's to come. I just want to show this off because it's a cool one. You get extra attack at level 6, and then you also get a lot of these spell slots. So while this may not be available just yet, it will be coming, so just stay tuned for that. And then you also get a bunch of cool passives, the ability to see in magical darkness, gain armor proficiency with medium armor, the Armored Gish, and add medicine skills to the damage of your poison spells. So there's a lot of really cool options here. You get some cool spells like Implosion there, dealing force damage, and yeah, we also get ourselves a Mage Blade. So I will touch a little bit more on this in a build guide, so I just wanted to showcase that briefly here, as it's a very cool class. Now, we also got the Blood Mage, which a lot of people have been looking forward to. So this is this class here, made by Doofalicious, and this is one of the first mod classes that was added to the in-game mod manager. So I think that they're starting to do these based on what was submitted first. So you can see here some of the first ones that I got. The Mystic obviously already came, and then we got the Witcher, or the Witch and the Blood Mage here. So eventually you may see like the Mind Reaver, the Priest, the Ganala, the Scrounger, Arcane Vanguard, and I know the Artificer, the creator of this, has been in the comments and potentially will be coming very soon. They did put forward for that, so you can expect to see that eventually. But the Blood Mage comes with its own unique spells, so you can make yourself bleed, and you can coat the areas in blood. I like this class. Again, this one you may not be able to select it because it does require you to have the stat of points allocated here. So if you can't select that, just be mindful that it may require you to select your skill proficiencies as well as your ability points that are allocated. So yeah, just be mindful of that. You do get a lot of cool spells though that I'll cover, because there's some unique ones made for this, and then also like the unique class features icons here. These are all made for this class. I think they did a great job with it. So there is 3 subclasses: the Blood Knight, Blood Magus, and the Blood Reaver. So all come with their own unique effects. The Blood Magus here is the only one that has full spell casting levels, so you can get some cool spells here, which I'll just briefly go through just to show off this class, because the creator did a good job of making a bunch of unique effects for it. So yeah, it's a fun class to play through and it uses Constitution and its ability score for spell casting, which is very unique. And yeah, get lots of spells here. They do sometimes pop up a little bit weird, so sometimes you can get them, sometimes you can't. Now, one thing, this isn't an OP class. You inflict yourself with bleed to inflict, or to get a level 2 spell slot. So this is a fun class, but it's not OP. It's actually kind of weaker than base game classes. So you don't have to worry if you want to have a little bit of a challenge run. Play as the Blood Mage, because it is not as strong. Like, for example, there is a Blood Sorcerer subclass that will be coming hopefully soon. It's very powerful, but the Blood Sorcerer is, obviously, sorcerers are strong. And this one is its own unique class, whereas the Sorcerer is riding off of another class that's already established in the game. Inflict yourself with 17 to unlock a level 3 spell slot. I'll just show that off. I think there's a visual glitch there. I know you inflict yourself with bleeding. And level 11 here. See, the spell slot selection isn't amazing. Level 11, you usually get your level 6 spells. We don't got any of that there. So, yeah, it is a little bit lackluster in terms of what spells you get. Now we got our level 6 spells at level 12. So Create Undead, you can only pick one of these, unfortunately. So, Eye Bite, Harm, Hold Monster is a big Hold Monster fan. Sucks that you don't get it till there, but I'll just go with this and show it off. So you can see we got our level 6 spells. We got a bunch of unique spell icons. This can increase our armor class, which is nice. So Boilhide. We also got the Blood Puppet, which you can use to create a summon. Profane Empowerment, increase your next spell's damage with a bonus action. And then we can also use our Blood into Magic here. So, 7 necrotic damage. There we go. And then that will give us another spell slot. So that's a cool thing with it. 7 necrotic. This is 17. We'll see what this one does. 17 damage. Okay. So yeah, you get a spell slot for that amount of damage. It's an interesting class. Not something that I super love playing with, but yeah, like some people might want to try out like a bit more of a challenge class. So it's there for that purpose. So yes, we also got ourselves the Progressive Weapons, which has multiple different weapons that actually scale with you as you level up. What's nice about this is you can see here, this is the Starfall Dagger. So this one, I'm obviously level 12 here, but you get a +1 to initiative, increase critical hit chance. I'll just equip it. So with this, we also get, I guess, the benefits here of release a devastating Nova Strike, unleashing a burst of force energy starting from level 6. The Starfall Dagger deals an additional 1d8 of force damage and on successful hit at level 4, and then becomes 2d16 if the target is not resistant to it at level 7. And the Starfall Dagger consumes the blood on its blade to power up immensely until level 12, and it gives up to a level 4 enhancement, so depending on your level, and then additional damage depending on what level you are. So a lot of these progressive weapons, their whole thing is to give you extra damage. Oh, there's the Nova releases. So force damage, Cosmic Blink, Short Rest, Misty Step, Nova release cold damage. So what this looks like is boom. I guess it doesn't hit these attacks don't hit if you don't have if there's no enemies there. So a few different choices of damage. It's a cool weapon, a little bit powerful, but I don't think it's absolutely busted strong. We also got ourselves the Iota Spark here, giving us get extra health from Spirits of the Fallen, gaining an extra 1d8 necrotic and the cost of taking 1d6. Wielder gets resistance to necrotic damage and resistance to, in addition to thunder resistance. Iota Spark powers up, giving a 1d4, 1d6, 1d8 thunder damage at 3, 8, and 12. And then you also get this Flash Spark ability here. So again, they may be hidden. You just have to look for them. So this is similar to the Nyralna attack that you get. So you get that like rush forwards, and then it hits everything with force damage in the area and displaces it all. So that's pretty cool. Also, this weapon has a really unique look to it. It's got that skull on there. I think that this is an incredible looking weapon. So very fun to play with. And next we got ourselves the Black Razor. So this is a big sword that also looks like the Baldur Giant Slayer. So maybe something you've seen before if you've played through the game. And whenever you defeat an enemy, you get 15 temporary health and 35 at level 8. So that's actually pretty strong. You also get advantage on attack rolls as long as you have those hit points, and advantage on all saving throws and ability checks, and access to haste without concentration. So this one is kind of busted. It also gets additional necrotic damage, so you can deal a ton of extra damage with it. And it does have some extra weapon actions here, so I think they're hiding on me. But yeah, you also get haste with this somehow. But yeah, I guess I don't have the weapon proficiency for using this, so that's probably why. We also got our Solemnity Cessation here, so double our proficiency bonus when rolling ranged weapon attacks with this. Once per turn, a creature hit with this will get afflicted with Fairy Fire, +1 initiative. And once you reach level 7, you get Nebulous Hole and unlock Volley. So a bow that gives you a free volley. Oh, there's our haste. It just appeared. Nebulous Black Hole, so you can pull us towards an enemy doing 70-10 force damage, and it'll pull all enemies there. It's very similar to the ability you get as a Illithid, so that looks cool. I'm glad Scratch didn't run into that. And you also have Solemnity Mark, dealing additional force damage whenever you attack, and that's kind of like Hunter's Mark, but force damage. So it's got some cool little extra effects here that make it fun. And then you also have the ability, whenever you attack, it'll apply Fairy Fire to the target. So you'll see there, we got Fairy Fire on Will there. So very fun weapon. And then there's also the Frost Vein Quarterstaff, gets resistance to cold damage, and whenever you get attacked, deals 1 to 4 cold. Unarmed attacks also deal cold damage, and the weapon itself does cold damage. So this is great for a monk that wants to maybe use the Snowburst Ring to create ice surfaces around the target. So that could be a really fun build as well. So that is the progressive weapons mod, and there's also some other weapons there that I couldn't cover on, like the Flameforged Warhammer. For some reason, this won't show up in my game. Gets resistance to fire damage, and you deal fire with the attacks, and then you also get a fire ability. And you can see there's also the Sword of Zariel, which is super overpowered for a good reason. Deals an additional 2 to 16 radiant damage, or 3 to 30 damage if you're wielding a weapon with 2 hands. Resistance to necrotic and radiant. Your charisma becomes 20, and you get wings, and you can fly up to 90 feet. And then you also get bright light on it, weapon enhancement +4. So yeah, that is a very powerful one, but with good reason. We also have a mod that gives Will dreads. Now, this is a cool one. I've had it equipped in the past. Just for example, that's what Will looks like with dreads. This is what he looks like without dreads. So, yeah, it depends how you want your Will to look. You can give him dreads. Cool. I love these different companion mods that come out. Now, another one that's really exciting for people is Volo's Normal Eye. So, typically when you have Volo's Eye, you can see there you get this nice, this blue-green, or blue-brownish colored eye. This will restore it so you can choose whatever eye color you have. I'm on PC, so there's already something in the Script Extender you can change. So it's a small tweak, but a welcomed one. Another one that I think is cool is D20 Initiative. So typically when you roll Initiative, it's a 1d4. So not a huge chance of getting higher on Initiative. However, what's nice about that is if you have things like the Hellrider's Longbow or Alert, you're able to get the +5 or +3 to your Initiative, meaning you're likely always going to go first because that'll trump a 1d4 unless other targets have a high dexterity and other items that boost it. So this makes it so it's much more random who's going to move first. If you like that kind of thing, this is also how it plays out in regular Dungeons & Dragons, so if you're a fan of D&D, you may like this more. We also have the feats on every level mod. I don't remember if this is one that just got added, just want to touch on that. And the NPC hairs, giving you all choices of NPC hair choices. P4 eye colors as well, giving you options of choosing different colored eyes, and there's a ton of them. I really like some of the brighter greens and blues that come with it. And P4 Dragon Scale. This allows you to change the Dragon Scale appearances. This is made by Padme 4000, who's made a ton of mods. Shout out to them. They did a great job with this. But yeah, you can see we already got 82 mods that has been added to the in-game mod manager. This list is growing now by the hour, so expect to see more hopefully soon. Maybe we'll get a nice Friday drop. I'll be covering if we do, so I just wanted to touch on this because I've been getting a lot of comments about console mods. I'm thinking about all you guys on console. Really hoping that we get to see much more coming soon. And I'll see you all in the next video. So thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button below if you haven't already. Appreciate all the support, guys. And we'll see you in the next one.